Storm Track First Forecast, sponsored by Gary County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Temperatures cooling off quite steadily. The wind is also relaxing quite steadily, down to 5 to 15 miles per hour, and should continue to weaken over the next couple of hours, leaving us with a pretty light wind overnight. Clear sky, chilly night, especially toward morning as we fall back into the upper 40s. The wind drops off tonight, but how long it will stay on the light side, a look at that is coming up. Fox 43 News at 9 starts now.
Now at 9, we're inching closer to the statewide stay-at-home order expiring, and local counties are drawing up plans on how to reopen.
I think that's a step in the right direction.
We have the specifics from a couple of counties on their plans and when the governor is releasing hers for the whole state. Plus, unemployment checks continue to be a headache. We asked state leaders how they're going to make sure people get the money they need. But first, let's get you up to speed on the latest coronavirus numbers in Kansas. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Molly Pat. Tonight, we learned a staff member at the Kansas Juvenile Correctional Complex in Topeka has tested positive for the coronavirus. This is the 4th correctional facility in Kansas with a positive case. We also learned a second inmate at the Lansing facility died from coronavirus. The first man at the prison died on Sunday from the virus. They were both taken to the KU hospital in Kansas City after testing positive, where they later died. Now the state health department says Kansas has over 3,700 cases. Now taking a closer look at the northeast corner of the state, you can see that Lyon County has 215 cases. Shawnee County has 112 and Riley County has 47. Now it is important to note that these numbers are the overall reported cases for each county since the beginning of this outbreak. And as the outbreak continues, many people are recovering, but not all counties report recoveries. Shawnee County does, though. So for example, looking here, you can see that while there are 112 confirmed cases, there are currently only 15 active cases right now when you take away deaths and recoveries. Looking in Riley County, there are only 23 active cases out of the 47 total reported. And this is why at news conferences, state health officials like the governor and Dr. Lee Norman say that the numbers are really looking good and going down compared to when this all started. Now, another factor in the numbers that causes a little bit of confusion is the increase in testing that we're seeing. The state has seen double-digit increases in the numbers of each of the last 8 days. The more tests that are happening, the more cases that are going to be found. And over the last week, the state has been testing more people. But health officials say over the last same 8 days, the percentage of hospitalizations and deaths in coronavirus patients has dropped every day. That's leading the state's top doctor to say the worst of this round of coronavirus could be behind us.
I think I can pretty comfortably tell you that we've peaked out in terms of the burden of the disease. And again, this nuance of increased testing is still finding ongoing new cases.
The governor's new reopening plan will happen in phases. Dr. Lee Norman says this will help keep coronavirus numbers heading in the right direction. And Governor Laura Kelly says that phase-by-phase plan will be released tomorrow night. She says the key to her plan is expanded testing. The state recently purchased 500,000 tests from private companies. The federal government is also sending 50,000 tests by next week. The governor's plan will also outline how to rebuild the state's economy. She's been talking to local officials and business owners to determine what guidelines should be included.
We're putting out much more detailed guidelines than, for instance, we saw from the White House. These will be much more detailed. That's why we've been working with our local counties so that if they want to take these guidelines and ratchet them up, because for their specific area, they're not enough, they're not restrictive enough, local counties will have the authority to do that again.
Now, the statewide stay-at-home order will end on Monday. Governor Kelly says a new executive order will set new restrictions for mass gatherings and provide other guidance for local governments, like she said. And those local leaders are drawing up plans already on how to get life back to normal, all while following the governor's orders. Fox 43 News reporter Mackenzie Davis shows us what the plan looks like for Manhattan.
Usually the streets here in Aggieville are full of people buying dinner or walking around on such a nice day like this. But that obviously hasn't been the case for the past several weeks. But soon, businesses and restaurants can return to normal, one safe step at a time.
Riley County has been on a stay-at-home order for more than a month. And as we get closer to that order expiring, plans are being made for the best and safest way to get back to normal.
So we wanted to make sure we discussed being consistent in all of our messages.
Manhattan leaders want to do this in phases while also following the governor's orders for reopening. On Wednesday, those phase plans were talked about in detail.
We can't assume that all businesses are going to be up and going. That's not going to happen. So there's probably going to be a few businesses that are going to be able to come on board themselves, and then give them a 14-day period, and then have a few more onboarding.
Phase 1, allowing slightly larger crowds at gatherings. More than 10 people, but no more than 25 for now. Then to Phase 2, we'll be slowly opening restaurants and bars dining areas. However, that will only happen if there are 14 days of a steady decrease in numbers of coronavirus cases. Number 3, nail shops and hair salons. Then to the 4th phase, allowing you to go back to places like movie theaters.
And I think that they're taking the right steps. I definitely think that rushing into big gatherings is not necessarily a good idea. And I think the small step program that they're going to be putting in place will be what's best long term.
The last step in the plan, allowing larger crowds for things like concerts and parades. The earliest that the first phase would start is once that stay-at-home order is officially lifted. As of right now, that's midnight on May 3rd. Again, moving on to the next phases will depend on decreasing numbers or not in a 14-day period. Once it does, the next phase can begin and the 14-day count starts over.
Doing these small little steps and these kind of checkpoints to see if we're really able to see a decrease in the trends. I think that's a step in the right direction, and I know that they're trying to do that the best that they can to try and make everyone safe as possible.
Manhattan officials say businesses and restaurants can keep the numbers down as we return to normal by providing hand sanitizers and cleaning as often as possible. Now, they didn't say how many people can be inside of a restaurant, but again, they will comply by Governor Laura Kelly's rules, and that will basically determine how many people can be in a restaurant as we get back to normal. In Manhattan, Mackenzie Davis, Fox 43 News.
And of course, we have that detailed outline for you on our website as well. It is important to note that could all change as well once the governor releases her plans tomorrow. So if she releases some more restrictions that Manhattan hasn't thought of, they can change it all. Manhattan city leaders could really just change anything to adhere to her orders, and it also goes for Shawnee County. The task force met in private today. The team is working on plans and guidelines to meet the May 4th expiration date of statewide orders. The team expects to release the early stages of the plan on Friday. That's because they will make changes depending on what restrictions and guidelines the governor makes in her plans tomorrow. Tonight, Topeka's VA hospital is responding to claims made by the Shawnee County Health Department. Fox 43 News reporter Dan Garrett went to the hospital today to find out how the dispute all started.
Today we learned the VA hospital has 9 confirmed cases of coronavirus. 7 of them are veterans and 2 of them are employees here. Now the first case was reported April 3rd, but it wasn't until this week that the director of the health department got upset. The Shawnee County Health Department now has the information about their coronavirus cases at the VA. The health department blasted the VA in a news release Tuesday for not responding to its requests. But we learned today the health department only asked for the information the day before, and the VA says the health department reacted too quickly.
We need to get clarification from our legal team and higher headquarters that we were able to give out, in fact, that personal private information. And as of 8:20 last night, we were given that authority to do so.
The department's director, Linda Oakes, says the department needed the information quickly so they could track down people who had been in close contact with coronavirus patients. The information will also help decide the future of public gatherings in Shawnee County.
The legal authority to decide who is quarantined and who is isolated rests with the health officer, and that would be then the health department's role. And so I take that responsibility very seriously. So that is why we felt it was so important that we were able to do the investigation.
The VA says the actions of the health department undermine the hard work that's going on here. But now both the VA and the health department are working together to track coronavirus cases. In Topeka, Dan Garrett, Fox 43 News.
And we're also learning that the state's top doctor may have helped end the communication breakdown. Dr. Lee Norman says when he learned about the situation, he contacted the VA.
I called to the second in command at the Veterans Administration, who was helpful, I think, in understanding that and helping the people here locally understand that this is part of public health and is a requirement by statute.
Meanwhile, more unemployment payment problems in Kansas. It's been a week since the state says it found a solution for paying out an extra $600 a week in federal unemployment. Even though payments started going out last Thursday, some unemployed Kansans haven't received one. The Kansas Department of Labor says everyone should receive their first check by the end of the week. Our Capitol Bureau talked with the unemployment director over video chat today.
You should receive that additional $600 on your debit card no later than tomorrow. And if you receive your benefits by direct deposit, no later than Friday.
After everyone receives the initial $600 payment, back payments for missed weeks are expected to start going out next week. And we know that there's a lot of information coming at you. We're working hard to cover the coronavirus from all angles. So we've made it very easy for you to see everything and follow along. You can see all of our coverage. Just go to fox43topeka.com/coronavirus for the latest updates.
Today we saw a lot of wind, but the wind is relaxing now, starting to die down enough that we'll have light wind overnight, already a clear sky. And with clear conditions tonight, we'll look to stay that way all through the night into the morning now. We've got rid of all the cloud cover. We'll stay in the clear into the daytime tomorrow. Should have beautiful weather for Thursday. It's 59 degrees already at Marysville and Concordia. Lots of low 60s, even down to 56. At Lawrence currently, but low 60s for the majority of the area currently with a light breeze, 5 to 10, a little bit stronger at Forbes Field, but everywhere else about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as those winds continue to die down tonight and the temperatures settle back into the upper 40s, definitely a cool night. The sky remains clear, the diminishing wind, and that dry air cools off quite a bit. But notice a fairly quick rise in temperatures as well. How much we warm up with plenty of sunshine tomorrow. Well, look at that's coming up.
Topeka police are still looking for a suspect in a deadly shooting tonight. It happened just before 11:30 last night near Southeast 14th Street and Locust in East Topeka. Police say they found 37-year-old Mark Edwards, who had been shot. Edwards was taken to a local hospital where he later died, and so far there have been no arrests. Meanwhile, police are trying to determine if a dead body that was discovered near the scene of last night's deadly shooting is connected. Police say the body of 36-year-old Zenny Vassar Jr. was found around 9:30 this morning, about a block away from the first crime scene. Detectives have not said how Vassar died, and anyone with any information about either of these situations should call the Topeka Police Department. The debate over Medicaid expansion has been going on with Kansas lawmakers for years now, but supporters are saying it's needed now more than ever. The details on their fight for approval is coming up next.
You're watching Fox 43 News at 9 with Molly Pat, Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller, and Pete Francis with sports.
There's a new push for Medicaid expansion during the coronavirus pandemic. Fox 43 News Capitol Bureau reporter Corinne Griffith tells us why supporters say expansion will help right now.
Medicaid expansion has been a topic of debate in Kansas for years now, but despite having enough support in the House and Senate, expansion has not been passed. Supporters of Medicaid expansion say now more than ever it can benefit the state, not only by providing health care for more than 130,000 Kansans, but also economically. It was anticipated the expansion would cost the state anywhere from $17.5 to $19 million per year. Under Medicaid expansion, the federal government provides $9 for every $1 spent by the state. This could bring in upwards of $1 billion each year to Kansas.
The number one impact is public health, and in the midst of a public health crisis, that's all the more important, but we shouldn't ignore the economic benefit.
Supporters also argue Kansas taxpayers currently pay federal taxes that go to other states for their Medicaid expansion programs.
The overwhelming majority of states have expanded, which means they're taking that pool of federal resources.
Political analyst Bob Beatty says while polls show that a majority of Kansans support Medicaid expansion, opponents believe that able-bodied people should work for their health care.
Some people that simply do not think that some people should get essentially free health care.
Senate President Susan Wagle and Speaker of the House Ron Reichman have blocked Medicaid expansion from going to a vote. A Wagle representative says Medicaid is the furthest thing from their minds during this pandemic. Kansas is one of 16 states that have not yet expanded Medicaid. If lawmakers were to pass it in the coming months, it would go into effect in January of next year. Reporting in Topeka, I'm Corinne Griffith.
Well, more salary cuts in college sports. Still ahead, what K-State's highest paid coaches say the cuts will do for the whole university.
Today, temperatures were able to warm up into the upper 60s to around 70. Tomorrow, we start off chillier in the upper 40s, but we should be a little bit warmer toward the afternoon into the middle 70s and much less wind. Should be a really nice day on Thursday. How long this pleasant weather will be with us coming up.
Now, your Storm Track weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller.
A clear, cool night ahead of us as temperatures drop back down for most of the area into the 40s, some low to mid 40s northwest, middle to upper 40s everywhere else, and pleasant weather as we head into the day tomorrow. Very warm on Friday. We warm up and southerly winds return, bringing in some higher humidity later Friday into Saturday. And that may set the stage for some scattered thunderstorms as the next front pushes in Saturday night. Some indications will be Saturday evening, others that it could be as late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. But it's in that sometime after late in the afternoon Saturday through midday Sunday window. We'll narrow that down a little bit as it gets closer, but that'll be our next rain chance. Right now it's clear at Emporia, clear in Manhattan, and clear sky in the capital city. Current temperature 63 degrees, west-northwest wind at 10 miles per hour. Temperatures today 51 and 71, pretty close to average, right at average for the high, a little bit above average by a couple of degrees this morning on the low as those winds were blowing through. Didn't feel any warmer than average. It was just that strong wind blowing in. 59 to the northwest, mainly into the low 60s, central and east. 62 at Holton, Hiawatha, and Manhattan. 61 currently at Emporia. The wind not as strong as it was earlier. Most areas down to 5 or 10 miles per hour, still 15 miles per hour at Forbes Field. Those breezes are diminishing and will go very light as we head through the night into the morning tomorrow, about 5 miles per hour. Much different than what we had through the day today. Tomorrow, we're looking at light northwest wind all day long. Now, the winds will start to shift to the southeast Thursday evening. Overnight into Friday, those southerly winds pick up and a little breezy, but southerly winds warming us up quite a bit as we head into Friday. Mostly sunny, clouds are mostly clear now. Most of the clouds are off to the east. The sunshine finally came through today, and after a cloudy start, it became sunny. Tomorrow, we should stay sunny through the day as this system exits farther away. There are some clouds out to the west, but no major storm system west of us. And so we enjoy a clear sky tonight. Let's look at future track. It's actually looping here. There's just nothing going on. Clear sky tomorrow. Here comes a few thin clouds as we head into Friday morning. And then during the day Friday, just a few passing clouds here and there. We'll jump ahead to Saturday. Mostly sunny, a chance for some scattered showers or thunderstorms Saturday evening into Saturday night. But by early Sunday, it starts to push away to the south and east. That'll be our next rain chance. Until then, quiet, cool tonight. The winds die down and we drop to 47 degrees. We're back up to a high tomorrow of 75. Lots of sunshine, a nice day, beautiful day. Just a very light northwest wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. After gorgeous weather on Thursday, warmer, but a few more clouds around on Friday, 82, then 86 on Saturday. A chance for some scattered thunderstorms late or into Saturday night. Should dry out on Sunday, and then another chance for some scattered showers and storms Monday before cooling back a few degrees into the middle of next week.
Well, K-State is following the lead of KU coaches and staff in taking salary reductions to help save their athletic department's money during the coronavirus pandemic. Bruce Weber and Chris Kleiman are both taking a 13% pay cut to help the athletic department. Every other employee making more than $150,000 a year will take a 10% pay cut, and those making between $100,000 and $150,000 will take a 5% cut. Adding that all up, the department expects to save $1.5 million. In addition, the department has cut its operating expenses by 10%, a savings of approximately $2 million for the upcoming year. For the first time tonight, here's what K-State's athletic director had to say about the cuts.
We hadn't anticipated doing it this early, to be honest with you. We knew we'd do that probably eventually, depending on what was going on with football. But when the university was going to announce theirs, we didn't want to be insensitive.
And KU with Bill Self, Les Miles, and Jeff Long, and now K-State adding to the list of schools to making this move. It's likely they won't be the last ones to do that. Well, the Boy Scouts are planning a camping trip, and you're invited. Coming up, we'll show you how you can enjoy the great outdoors while still practicing social distancing guidelines. Boy Scouts across the country are teaming up to still enjoy the outdoors of camping while keeping socially distanced according to the guidelines. Boy Scout troops around Northeast Kansas are taking part in a virtual camping trip this weekend. The Scouts will plan the camp-in trip by picking out the food and activities for their families, all while still earning their merit badges along the way. Members of the Jayhawk Area Council say it's not just for Boy Scouts, as they want all families to join in on the fun of a virtual campfire.
We're just encouraging families to get together and be outside together. Some have been cooped up in the house for a really long time. A lot of us parents, I'm working from home as well, and she's doing online schooling. We've been sitting in front of a screen so much that maybe we can break that up a little bit throughout the day.
And for more information on how you could be a part of the virtual campfire, just go to fox43topeka.com. All right, Matt, let's check in with you one more time. It would be a good weekend. Maybe go outside? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it'd be a great weekend for the most part. We do have a couple of chances for rain out ahead, but we have some really nice weather tomorrow. I mean, got to find a time to be outside for at least part of that. Sunny, 75, light northwest wind 5 to 10. Then we warm up even more by Friday. We start out in the 50s, top out in the lower 80s with a scattering of clouds around, with southerly winds returning Friday and on into Saturday. We'll also see a little uptick in the humidity level. Shouldn't be a muggy day, but it certainly will be warmer. Just have a little bit more of maybe a summer feel to the air, at least on Saturday, with a high of 86 and a chance for a few scattered thunderstorms late. But we do cool back down into the 70s by Sunday and Monday, with a chance for a few more storms Monday, and then low 70s toward the middle of next week. Thanks for watching Fox 43 News at 9. Have a great night.